Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. 844-551-8255 if you want to call the show. And if you just want to check us out on demand, kjradio.com. I want to talk about George Clooney. Heartthrob. Hollywood hunk. We got to hear all about his marriage. We got to hear all about his politics. His wife, I forget her name, but she's dealing with human rights issues around these savages over in countries in Africa, raping women and holding them as sex slaves and things like this. And mostly around Islamic stuff, Islamic terrorist. But don't think that makes George Clooney a Donald Trump fan, because Donald Trump is trying to take care of these terrorists, eradicate the world of them. No, George Clooney still protests against Donald Trump, because he's a misogynist. Because Donald Trump doesn't stand for the things that George Clooney stands for. George Clooney, he's on top of it. Hey, free Darfur. Don't stop the genocide. Stop all this. Dude, stop that. I've flown over there. Yeah, I've flown across it when I was on my way to, do a movie in Europe. Free Darfur. Help the black people, on the dark continent. Or global climate change or some other such nonsense. Because he's aware. See, George has his finger on the pulse of things. When George is close to an issue, let's put it this way. If George gets close to something, he's all over it, man. He knows it cold. There is nothing that you could say to George Clooney that's going to make him, he knows it. And he's been fighting against Donald Trump. He's been fighting against conservatism. He fights against the scourge of conservatism. All you Bible-thumping, sanctimonious people, you America-loving, military-loving, capitalist-backing, whatever, gun-toting, Bible-thumpers, you are the scourge of the earth. And he knows it. He's into it. He researches it, just like he does movie parts. That's why he's who he is, and that's who you are. Let's just face it. He's better than we are, right? And that's why he's winning. So what's so funny about all this to me? George Clooney misses a lot. And I don't think he realized it, so he needs me to kind of help him understand what he's missing. See, George Clooney says that he's known Harvey Weinstein for 20 years. And he said, the title of the thing I read that said, I've known Harvey Weinstein for 20 years and I didn't know him to be like this, or something like that. And it got me to thinking, 20 years. So I've got friends of 20 years. I told you guys about one of them who was a drug addict. I went over to his house and I told him, I said, dude, you got to break this. And he lived in a dangerous area because he had fallen from grace, man. I mean, this guy was doing pretty well to where he was living over in one of the most dangerous areas of Dallas, Texas. And I drove up there in my brand new Supra. It was a beautiful car. An old black dude that lived underneath him called me crazy. Crazy cab. Because he was like, I don't know how you drive this car into this neighborhood to go visit your friend. And you think, cops don't go get you in this neighborhood. It's an area of Dallas called Bonton. If you're from that area, you know what I'm talking about. Over in South Dallas. Cops will tell you, we go get the bodies. We don't go respond. We go get the bodies. But I went to my buddy's house because he was so strung out and I wanted to have a heart-to-heart. It wasn't going to be a phone call. It was going to be a heart-to-heart. And I told him I'm coming by. I brought him some food and I went there probably once a week for at least, 3 months. See, I know my friends. Now, I'm not telling you I know everything about them, but I know a lot about them. And I certainly know their character. And I'll tell you this, there are no whisper campaigns on my friends. Yo, Kev, your buddy Curb over there? Yeah, I mean, geez, I tell you, man, you just can't leave any girl around that guy. What are you talking about? Well, man, I mean, I've had 2 or 3 girls at the coffee shop say Kirby's been hitting on them. What would I do? Ignore it? I'd go ask the girls. I'd say, is Kirby hitting on y'all? Well, I didn't want to say anything. I'd call. Kirby owns coffee shops. He's a buddy of mine. I would go to Kirby. I'd say, Kirby, come out here. Let me talk to you real quick, man. First of all, what are you doing hitting on these girls? You're married to Kelly. What's up? What's going on? I wouldn't. Oh, I'm going to pretend I don't see it. Okay. Well, hey, girls, just try not to get locked in, put into a bad situation and, or you're just lying. You're lying. And what if it was a real job that they wanted, not a barista, but something they really wanted to do, and Kirby was doing that? Do you think I'd let him do that? What about you? You conservatives, listen to me. Would you do it? Of course not. George Clooney wants you to believe that either he walks through Hollywood as oblivious as he is to politics, to what Harvey Weinstein is doing, or he's just pretending not to know. 20 years, let me tell you, the only thing I can tell you about this, if he suddenly discovered that his friend of 20 years is a misogynist at best and a rapist at worst, is what does he call a friend? Is he not close enough to this friend to help him? Don't friends know at least some idea of a problem? And certainly, if that problem is based on a whisper campaign, would you step in to help? And then, what is a Hollywood friend? Think about that. See, we kick that word around so easily. Yeah, he's my friend. I tell you how I judge my friends. I've told you this many times, folks. Will you come bail me out of jail, make me a fat loan, or give me the cash I need to do something? Or would you come fight for me and give your life? Because that's what I do for my friends. I will bail you out of a situation and give you all the money I can possibly give you. I'll loan you the money I could loan you. I will bail you out of jail no matter what time of night you call. And if you call me and you're in a legitimate fight, I'm there for you. You think Hollywood has friends by that standard? How many friends in Hollywood do you think George Clooney has by that standard? Or anything close to that standard? See, what these guys do, they make ungodly amounts of money so they can pretend to have their fingers on the pulse of society. George Clooney puts his value on the money he makes and the scripts that are sent to him. The fact that he has to do no work. People are going, get George Clooney, get George Clooney. So he believes he's something special. He knows his knowledge transcends the role playing that he's involved in. It transcends that and it goes into everything. And you know what George Clooney's thinking right now? Holy crap. If he really believes that he knew nothing about this guy, George, what else do you know nothing about? Climate change? The plight of Africans? Maybe all of your political stances? Maybe you're wrong about a lot because Harvey Weinstein was one of you. He promoted all the stuff you support. And you know what he was? A lying, lecherous scoundrel.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.